Welcome to Everyday Musicality, the podcast in which we discuss all things related to Gordon's music learning theory and how it can help unlock the inner musician that lives inside of all of us. I'm your host, Heather Shouldice, music educator and faculty member for the Gordon Institute for Music Learning. In today's episode, we'll do a brief introduction to this podcast and set the stage for what's to come. Hello and welcome to the Everyday Musicality Podcast. I'm Heather Shouldice and I'm very excited for this official pilot episode. I'm guessing we have a number of MLT veterans listening, but I hope that we also have some listeners who are new to MLT. If so, welcome. My goal with this podcast is for there to be something for everyone. We'll cover basics of MLT for those who are less familiar and just dipping their toes in the water. And I hope this will also be helpful for seasoned MLT practitioners to continue refining their teaching practice and communicating with others about MLT in concise ways. I'm also planning some things that may appeal more to hardcore MLT folks, including Q&A episodes, Ask the Listener episodes, as well as a few deep dives for MLT nerds. So whether you're new to MLT or not, I hope you're as excited about this podcast as I am and looking forward to furthering the conversation about MLT and sharing ideas with one another. I'd like to note that this podcast is sponsored by GIA Publications, publisher of many MLT-related materials, including my upcoming book tentatively titled Weaving It All Together, A Practical Guide to Applying Gordon's Music Learning Theory in the Elementary General Music Program. Subscribe and keep listening to this podcast for a chance to enter upcoming giveaways and hear reviews of MLT-related materials. In today's pilot episode, I'll give a brief introduction to this podcast and set the stage for what's to come. This will center around 3 questions. 1, what is MLT? 2, who am I? And 3, what is this podcast? So the first question, what is MLT? MLT stands for Music Learning Theory. In a nutshell, MLT is a theory about how we learn when we learn music. It was developed by Edwin E. Gordon and centers around the premise that every human being has musical potential and can develop into a competent, everyday music maker. Just like everyone can speak their native language, even if they're not a professional public speaker or an actor, everyone can understand and make music as a part of everyday life. The point is not necessarily to become a professional musician, but to engage with music in a meaningful way and express ourselves through musical sounds, thereby making our lives richer. Of course, we'll be delving much deeper into the question, what is MLT, in future episodes, but for now, we'll move on to the second question. Who am I? Again, my name is Heather Shouldice. I'm a former elementary general music teacher, now in teacher education. I'm also a faculty member and past president for the Gordon Institute for Music Learning, an organization for music educators who are interested in MLT. I'll be sharing a bit more about my MLT journey in a future episode, but for now, I'll just share that I discovered MLT when I was an undergraduate student. I taught elementary general music using MLT for 10 years, and now I teach MLT-related courses and workshops for educators across the country. I've seen and heard the ways in which MLT can facilitate the development of extremely sophisticated musical skills and understanding in even very young children, and I'm so excited to share that with you. Our last question for today, what is this podcast? In the Everyday Musicality Podcast, we will discuss anything and everything related to Gordon's music learning theory. First, we'll start with a few episodes that will give an overview of the main tenets of MLT, and then we'll start digging into strategies for applying MLT in the classroom. In the future, we'll do deep dives into various aspects of the theory and its application, discuss MLT-related resources and materials, look at ways to build independent musicianship, and interview MLT practitioners and experts to gain insight into the multitude of ways MLT can benefit our students and us. I hope that across the long term, there will be things to interest both MLT newbies and veterans alike. I'll also be bringing you product reviews and giveaways provided by the generous sponsorship of GIA Publications, so stay tuned for more information in future episodes. In the next few episodes, we'll dig a bit deeper into the question, what is MLT, through a series of episodes in which we start to discuss the core tenets of music learning theory, which are audiation, music aptitude, and sequential music learning. In the meantime, if you have questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes, please get in touch. You can email me or send me a voice memo at everydaymusicality@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and let's keep musicking every day.